Friends, I'd like to invite you into my kitchen, into my home today as we consider this whole idea of the spiritual practice of sourdough. About 2.5 years ago, I sort of got interested in baking my own bread and realized that it was a way of embodying what Dallas Willard said as the ruthless elimination of hurry. And so today, as we play with water and flour, and we attend to the process of what it means to be embody a slow down spirituality. I'd love to share with you some of the learning that I've been on, and also just to have a bit of fun and teach you how to make bread in the process. So we begin with the mother. Some people call it the starter. And the idea is that over a period of days, you create something from nothing. Almost this idea, if I could reflect on those first few words in Genesis, that, you know, in the beginning, God creates the heavens and the earth the earth is void and empty and formless and dark, and the Spirit of God is hovering over the waters. And it's just this beautiful moment of what is going to be light that bursts onto the scene as God starts creating. And as I attend to this starter or this mother, it's what gives life to the bread. It's what feeds the bread. I continually take and add from the mother. So it's always changing. It never stays static, but there's something of the essence, the divine spark that is always there as we attend to this very basic human need of baking our own bread. So I'm going to take the mother and I'm going to add some lukewarm water, and I use scales, and this is 100 ml of the lukewarm water, and I've got 100 grams of this is a sourdough rye flour. And then, this is where it gets exciting, I take my stinky fermented mother, and I'm going to add about 100 grams of the mother into this as a way of beginning the process of the next loaf of bread. Now, what happens is that I will also add 100 ml of water and 100 ml of flour to the mother. And the mother will go back in the fridge. And that process happens every time. So every time I take from the mother, I continue to add to it. So we then mix this concoction of mother and flour and lukewarm water together. And what I like to do when I do this is I actually want to try and start paying attention. So, God, what might be bubbling in me? What might be fermenting in my spirit as I just begin this very humble process of mixing these three ingredients together? And I try and pay attention to, where am I in this process? What am I contemplating? What's happening? What's been happening in my week? Where have I been getting frustrated, or where am I striving? And this part is just perhaps a reset of just trying to go, God, you're up to something here. You know, Kreider in his book, The Patient Ferment of the Early Church, talks about the fact that it wasn't necessarily evangelism or even trying to, generate the argument of the Christian faith that saw the growth in the early days of the church, but it was actually the patient, embodied living of a group of people who, under persecution and in suffering, endured hope and practiced hope in many different ways. And so as I attend to this humble beginnings of the essence that we've just fed, I invite you to go, God, what are you up to in this moment? What are you up to in my spirit? What are you up to in my context? And what's bubbling? What is being unearthed here as I begin the process?